He's White House press secretary, special assistant to the president. So, Hogan, do you think the message from the media is correct that your administration is separating parents, moms and kids?
It is completely false. This is all the Democrats doing, and let's be clear about what they're asking us to understand and believe. Democrats are saying you can't deport them, you can't detain them, you can't prosecute them. The only thing you can do, per a Democrat, is to release them into the interior without any ramification for what they've done by breaking our laws. It's absolutely incredible. There are only one of two things that can happen when they come here. You have to either release them into the interior of the United States as a family unit, or you have to separate the families. That's what the law says. Right. This is up to the Democrats. They could fix this right now. If you close those loopholes, we could do this humanely, and quite frankly, the Democrats' policies put drug cartels in business. They're raking in money hand over fist, sending people to this country carrying drugs, and also the child smuggling industry. International child smuggling is up because Democrats create incentives by not closing these loopholes. You have to stop this because we have to protect this country, and we have to do this humanely.
Hogan, let's talk about the humane part. You know, we got from the Border Patrol some of the images inside these detention facilities. And you can see some have likened them to concentration camps. Some refer to these as cages, and I can understand that point of view. Look, I'm from a farm community. To me, I see the chain link fences. It's more like a security pen to me. Nonetheless, whether you call it a cage, you call it a pen, the images are stark.
Yeah, absolutely. It's heart-wrenching. You see what's going on out there. But listen, Steve, you stood here last week with the president. I was standing 5 feet behind you. You heard what he said. He doesn't like this. But he also understands it's the law of the land. You have to enforce these laws. The situation at the border is a crisis, and it's put there because this president, quite frankly, tried to fix it over about, 9 months ago. He put out a 70-point immigration plan to fix all of these issues, to cure all of the woes facing this country as it relates to immigration. Democrats balked at it. Fast forward a little bit, you see the Schumer shutdown. The Democrats decided to stand with people who are here illegally and unlawfully by the hundreds of thousands, as opposed to hundreds of millions of American citizens. They're doing it again. They're playing politics with people's lives. They're doing it on the backs of children.
Republicans have the majority
grotesque
in the House and Senate, Hogan.
Right, but you have to change the law, Brian, and the only way you change the law is with 60 votes in the Senate. We don't have that. The Republicans are together in this, united in this, trying to stop child smuggling, protect the family unit. Democrats don't want it because they want it as a political issue.
Hogan, when they're arrested and they're separated, the moms and dads go to jail, and then their babies, their children go to these shelters. Is there any way that we could just keep them together, send them back to their country, and teach them how to get on the list so that they can come to our country legally?
Well, that's the problem. I heard Alan Dershowitz say earlier that you could just send them back together as a family unit. You can't. The law doesn't say that. Because you have a minor involved, it makes it much more difficult, meaning the minor has to stay, potentially, via the law, and then you have to deport the parents. That's the problem. There is a separation that occurs because the law exists that way. It's a farce to believe you can keep them together. And remember, as I said at the outset of this segment, Democrats say you can't detain them. So if you can't detain them, you can't deport them, you have to release them into the interior of the country. It's a complete false choice, but it can be fixed so simply if they would just close these loopholes. And look, let's be honest. If people do come into this country illegally and unlawfully and then are released without documentation, every crime that someone like that commits is 100% preventable. And I understand the Democrats are upset about temporary separation of families who come here illegally.
Yeah, it's hard to
Where's
see.
the outcry for the permanent separation when one of these people come to this country, commit a crime, kill an American citizen either with their own hand or via the drugs they distribute? No one comes to their defense. The permanent separation is the biggest abomination, and no Democrats coming out decrying that at all.
It would seem like this is a perfect time, because you've got the Democrats talking about these security pens or these cages being used to house these children. You've got the issue of the Dreamers. You've got the Republicans, many of whom want to end chain migration, the diversity lottery program, and build a wall. It seems like everybody wants something, so this would be a great time for some sort of gigantic grand bargain, and I think a lot of people will be disappointed unless this is fixed.
Look, absolutely. This is what the president has been pushing for more than a year. We want a permanent, a lasting solution to the DACA problem. We want to end chain migration. You remember the 4 pillars,
right.
Ending the visa lottery,
But
building the wall. All these things can be done that protect the American people and stop this problem immediately. Because if you put a wall up across the border, then it forces immigrants who come to this country to come to the ports of entry. If they come to the port of entry, it's a much safer, much better situation.
Right,
for them,
Hogan,
no
real quick,
question.
there's 2 House plans that are going to get voted on. Does the president back both of them, the Goodlatte plan and the Ryan compromise plan? I heard the president backs both.
He does. He supports the efforts brought forth by the leadership and by the congressional Republicans because they're the only ones coming to the table with real solutions. They're not running to cameras.
What are the solutions? Do you know?
They're not running to cameras to try and sell this and get reelected based on the poor images of children in cages. What Republicans are trying to do is come to the table honestly and openly and say, we're going to fix this problem because we have to close the catch and release loopholes. People who come from other countries know these loopholes. The drug cartels know them. The international child smugglers know them. That's why they're so adept at claiming credible fear, for an example, when they come across the border, asking for asylum because they know that's what they've been told on the backside of these international smuggling rings. Come to America, use this verbiage and these claims, and you'll be let out for free because Democrats refuse to close the loopholes. It's a dangerous situation for this country, and it's all on the backs of the Democrats.
Well, fast forward, what are the chances, if you were a betting man, Hogan, and I know for a fact you are, what are the chances they do get something through Congress that the president signs?
I hope it's good. I don't want to get into a percentage game here, but listen, we've seen the images. We know that there's a lot of blame flying around this city, and it's a shame. But the facts are on the side of the Republicans. The facts are on the side of this president who's been trying to fix this. He's been the champion, and you know it was a good plan and right down the middle because he got attacked from the right and from the left. You knew it was a bipartisan plan he put forth, and that's the telltale sign. When both sides are angry at you, it's clear he stands with the American people. 80% of the people want a fix, they deserve a fix, and they need one right now.
There you go. All right, Hogan Gidley from the North Lawn of the White House. Hogan, thank you very much.
Thanks, Hogan.